Hello to everybody, this is Dr. Maryam from Mohammed Bani Hashem Advocates and Legal Consultants, and today we are going to have our live stream on Instagram related to extension of the case or legal postponement of the case. Also, we will discuss what is the positive and negative side of the postponement or extension of the time in the case. What is the procedure to apply depends if you are a claimant or you are a defendant, and also we will briefly speak about consequences of postponement or extension in the case. Mostly this procedure is related to civil cases, commercial cases. Also it can be applicable for labor cases, even family cases. Extension is always possible. We are not talking about the criminal cases on this stage. The procedure in the criminal case is a little bit different, also related to extension, but generally in some let's say ways it can be also applicable to the criminal cases as well. So actually it's the right for the both parties, the claimant and the defendant, to postpone the case. So actually this is the option to delay the case for some time frame. Often we got questions from people why the other party delay the case, why the other party ask for more time, why the judge approved this request, is it legal, is it possible? First of all, of course, it's always possible. So the judge can always give an option, especially if this request is first time. So first time in the case the party asked for delay or for postponement. Of course, if there are valid and legal reasons for this, the judge will approve it. He will actually give permission, for example, to provide the documents later on, or to make some amendments, or to bring witnesses, etc., etc. Also, it depends if this request is done by the lawyer or this request is done by the party personally. It's also important. Let's say this possible both for the lawyer and for the party, but these are some details that might vary. What happens with the cases where there are a lot of delays? So sometimes we face that the party is, let's say, violating the right for delay. And also I see a lot of people are joining. Please, if somebody has a question or want to share a story about his case or her case, or want to leave a feedback or just to leave a comment, please go ahead with the live chat. We can always discuss common stories together, okay? So what happens if the party is violating the right for delay? We had one situation where the claimant, yes, the claimant in the case, he was asking for time, like it happens 3 or 4 times in the case. So actually there was a very big gap in the case and the timeline in the case, and our defendant, he was constantly asking why the judge allow for the claimant to make a delay, and it happens for different reasons. He was asking to bring original documents, he was asking to bring translation, he was asking just for more time, he was asking for more time to pay the fees. So he was using different or common reasons to make delay. But of course, we should always remember that this is the decision of the judge. Actually, this is not in none of the parties' hands to decide whether it will be postponement or no. The judge should take a proper decision about this. Of course, it can make negative or positive outcome on the case. For example, if you're interested to take time in the case, this right is good for you. So you can, for example, find out some solution, find out how to make settlement in the case, or find out how maybe to find additional documents to prove your position. So this right will be good for you. there is an opposite side of this topic also. So it can be negative for you. You are expecting, for example, to get your judgment quickly. You are expecting to get your money back quickly, and the other party, the defendant, let's say, is constantly trying to postpone the case. So you see that you will not get your judgment that much quickly. Here, this option is negative for you, but unfortunately, the law is for all. So this option is to bring the common rights for the parties, whether to postpone the case or to use additional options. Also, as traditionally we are making comparisons between the UAE jurisdiction and a common jurisdiction, that is the DIFC courts. There are different options, and let's say more specific options to delay the case and delay the procedure depends on the place where you are right now. For example, you move on till the end of the case management order and all the schedule, but actually you can vary something. We also had the situations where the defendant was asking for postponement using different options and different time, and it happened more than 2-3 times in one case. So we have a very big time gap where the defendant is trying to avoid responsibility. I see there are some comments in the chat. There is a question I see about related to children. Please leave your comment or leave your private message, and we will definitely come back to you in regards of this question. And also there is a question about the subject of today's live stream. It's related to extension and postponement of the case. So do you actually have a right to postpone the case? Do you actually have a right to react on the request of the defendant to postpone the case? And also coming back to the consequences, a lot of people, they ask, will the judge consider that the opponent, for example, the defendant, asked for postponement? Will the judge take this in consideration? If it will be valuable when the judge will make a decision? It's a good question, and let's say yes and no. The judge is a person, and of course there is always some some percentage of his personal opinion in the case. So of course he's making judgment in fair way, but he's a human. So of course there is some opinion about the action of the claimant and the action of defendant. If the judge will see that some of the parties are actually violating the right, so they are trying to skip from the responsibility, they are trying to skip from following the court orders, then it will definitely have a negative outcome and feedback. But anyway, this is just a matter of opinion. The judgment is always issued in accordance with the documents and position. For the claimant, if he or she proved her position well, if he provided all the documents, and for the defendant, if he defended himself in a good way, he proved his position that he is not responsible in the claim, is not responsible for example for the demands of the claimant, and it doesn't matter in which jurisdiction you are, in the local courts or in the DIFC courts, or maybe you are in arbitration. There you can also postpone the case. The most important is to be careful with the rights, to use it in a fair way, and always to prevent yourself as a party, defendant or claimant from acting not in good faith. I hope all of you enjoyed this live stream. I hope it will be useful for you. If you are having some questions related to your existing case or your possible case, or you are just wondering what will be your rights in future, and a common question, how long the case might take, it's a very frustrating question all the time. It's impossible to predict the time frame, unfortunately. Please leave your comments, share your feedback, subscribe to our YouTube channel Legal One on our social. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope you are having a lovely afternoon. Take care and goodbye.